peace and blessings, people. This is Big John, the host and the creator of the fulfillment of our soul. We just want to welcome everybody out for this interview today with this beautiful sister. She goes by the name of Justina or Tina Thompson, and she is the president of Global Mission Society Incorporated. This sister came on to my channel and she reached out to me and she said she would like to do a collaboration. I said, let's do it. So here we are. Before I go any further, we just want you to remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, and share these videos and all our videos. Ms. Thompson has her own channel. I will let her later on tell you what it is, so you can go and check her out. She has a website. I will let her tell you what it is, and you can go check that out. But I will talk a little bit about her. Uh, Justina is a seventh generation African American Gambian of the Mandinka tribe of Kunta Kinte, cousin. Listen here, cousin of Alex Haley. And if you don't know who Alex Haley is, I have to slap you. But no, Alex Haley, who brung us the wonderful story of Roots, based upon the main character of Kunta Kinte. So uh, this is her cousin. This is his cousin. And most definitely, I feel like the spirit and the vibe is continuing through her. So she's adding on to the legacy. So Tina was born in 1963 in Washington, D.C., where we basically are in that area now. And she serves as Jordan Baptist Church. She served at Jordan Baptist Church as a missionary. A graduate of Duval in 1981, she went on to achieve a lucrative career in cosmetology. Tina completed uh, Law France Beauty Academy in 1983 and achieved many awards and prestigious accomplishments. And she created this wonderful movement called the Global Mission Society, which is a grassroots organization that has entered into flagship partnership with Jufore Village in the diverse stages of development, which includes efforts in improving the quality of life through clean water systems, solar, water, and solar lighting, sustainable agriculture, basic health care, education, and micro entrepreneurship development. So without further ado, because that was a lot for me to read, I want to bring on Miss Thompson. Hello, sister. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing
How
good.
are
I'm doing
you?
good. I'm doing
It's such
good.
a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I most definitely appreciate you reaching out to me. And once I heard your story and I went to that fantastic website of yours, I pretty much got the gist of what you do and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think that this interview, the people will enjoy. The people will enjoy. So tell us a little bit about yourself in your own words, if you will.
Well, you pretty much said everything basically. But my true passion is just to fulfill my cousin Omar Tall's wish.
Mm-hmm.
When I went over in 2006 just to do my pilgrimage, all that was on my mind was just to do my pilgrimage, just to touch bases with my roots. I wanted to connect. When I got off the plane, I just automatically felt like I was home. I had arrived. Uh, I mean, instant healing started going for
Mm-hmm.
me. So I went back into the village. I met my cousin Omar and the family and stuff for the first time and everything. Um, and I just knew then, that, I just, it was not going to be sometimes when people go over is they go to Africa and they never go back. But when I went, that was home. So I knew that it was going to be an ongoing thing for me.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I went back there and I just observed everything. And then I went back in 2009 and we further, my cousin Omar and I, we further connected and he started to begin to share with me his heart of hearts, what he wanted to do, what had been transpiring over the years since Alex Haley had, my cousin Alex had gotten, had put in the water towers and helped them with the electric and so on and so forth. And he started to share with me how basically people were using their name and profiting on their name, but not really getting any help,
Yeah.
and that just burdened me so much. And the more he shared with me, the more my heart uh, began to want to help him, to want to help our family village.
Yeah.
And so that's how Global Mission Society was birthed.
Mhm.
And so the more every year that I went with him, the more he would pour into me about, what his desires were and, what he, wanted to do. And I would come back to the church and I would talk to people and to my pastors and to my friends and to my customers. And then we just started to put things together. And with my customers and things, we just started collecting items and doing monies and shipping over our suitcases. We started out with suitcases.
Okay.
And then from the suitcases, we built up to the containers when we got connected with the churches. The churches,
Mhm.
we started doing gospel programs and stuff like that because I come from a musical background. My
Mm.
husband come from a musical background, vocalist, and he's a guitarist. And
So you can sing. So you can
his
sing. You
yes,
can
I can
sing.
sing. I can
Okay,
sing.
we're gonna test that later on. Right now, we're gonna get to the talented section, but we most definitely got to hear those pipes if they're there. You say they there, we
Okay.
got to hear that. But
Oh
go
Jesus,
ahead.
he said if they there. Okay.
Yeah, so you got with the
Okay.
churches and y'all started putting stuff together in containers after you dealt with the suitcases.
Mm-hmm. So so we did several gospel programs and we raised the money. It took us 2 years actually
Okay.
because it's not cheap to ship over a container, 40-foot container, full of stuff. And then of course people making their own donations and everything.
Yeah.
So we raised with our church, we raised almost 10,000. That took 2 years.
Okay.
Um, I would say it cost us about 5,000 plus to
Mhm.
actually ship the container. And then also we had to rent a truck, to, house all the stuff that we shipped and stuff once we got it out of the port. That's a whole nother
That's a
story,
whole
that
nother
port
story.
experience.
That's a whole nother story out the port. I already know.
That's another interview.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we went through an ordeal. But
Okay.
luckily for me, I had been um, attending a church, and I had formulated a relationship with one of the pastors, Pastor Banson, over in
Mhm.
Jeswan Glory Church. Who's a assistant pastor
Mhm.
in Glory Church. Okay, so
Okay.
he was able to buffer that experience of getting
Right.
our belongings out of the port.
Most
Let
definitely
me
when
say
they
that.
say it's not what you know, it's who you know, that's a very important that everybody uh going to Africa, and I believe is any part of Africa trying to get your stuff, it's most definitely one of
Yes,
those situations you got to know somebody that knows somebody. And most definitely need to
yes.
know somebody that speaks the native language and
Oh,
probably knows the
absolutely.
tribal language too. So because you got different
Absolutely. All of
tribes
the
and
above.
right, you got to know that stuff. Yes, so I know.
Yes.
And
And that's a good point because you're navigating, you have to have a relationship with someone. You just
right,
can't go over there by yourself and willy nilly and start stuff.
right.
The it'll make life much when you have relationships and established relationships. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I want you to back up just a little bit, or
Okay.
maybe you was going there next. I think that people would be really, really appreciative to understand about how you personally and what you personally, how you got to the Gambia and what it took. You know what I mean? Because I know for me, it was a lot of different things. You know, you had to get your passport, you had to go to the doctor, see what other type of uh, vaccinations that you might have needed. You know, you had to get your malaria pills, and then, you know, dealing with getting on the plane and everything like that. I mean, we went over there in
Mm-hmm.
full hazmat suits. When you went, there wasn't even a such thing as coronavirus. But during the coronavirus, I mean, we was, you know, covered up pretty fairly. But just like I heard you talked about when you touched down, and you knew that you would be returning, but how did it feel and what did it take for you to actually get on the plane in America? And how real or surreal was that when you finally was like, yo, I'm going to Africa? How was that?
Okay, so I when I tell you the stars just aligned
Mm-hmm.
and that there is definitely a higher power
Mm-hmm.
with the whole situation. Um, I first, the how I connected was through my brother Wayne Young. Wayne Young owns Port of Harlem magazine in Washington,
Okay.
D.C.
Okay.
I had, and this is during the time that I owned my hair salon. I had a commercial hair salon and also a hair salon in my home as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I used to love to go to this small store in DC called Con Kalili, and get my oils and, you know, all like it, because the store was Egyptian style, you know, store, and it was just a part of Africa. So when I
Right.
want to feel Africa, I want to feel that motherland type
Mm-hmm.
vibe, you know, I would go to this store.
Right.
So I went to this store and I happened to pick up Wayne's magazine. This was in probably '04, because
Okay.
'05 we was actually supposed to go to the Gambia with Wayne, but the trip got canceled and we ended up going in '06. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up Wayne's magazine and I flipped it open, and there was a story that said he was preparing a trip to go to the Gambia. I
Wow.
almost had a heart attack. I was
Mm.
like, oh my God. I
Mm.
said, I got to call this guy. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because my son and I had just been on the internet
Mm-hmm.
looking for our how to connect to our family, and we had pulled the Omar up on the computer doing research,
Okay.
you know, trying to see how I could connect to getting over to the Gambia.
Mm-hmm.
Here goes this magazine.
Right.
So I called Wayne in 2005. I told him who I was and all of this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I started to plan to go with him. And my husband
Right.
was like, "You crazy? You don't know these people? You talking about
Right. Right.
you
Right.
gonna you gonna go on a trip and blah blah blah?" Oh Lord, he just. I was like, "Oh Tina, I know you." I said, "Yes, I am. I'm
Mm.
going." So
Right.
anyway, long story short, '05 got canceled. We to go on in '06. At that time, I had gone through some difficulties with my salon. I just couldn't keep good workers and stuff like that, and so I ended up
Mm.
my I was going through a heartbreak. I decided to close my hair salon and
Mm.
move my business back into my home.
Okay.
So I was going through quite a bit of disappointment and stuff like that, and so when I decided to go, it was just a part of my healing to just go. I wanted to meet my family and so on and so
Mm.
forth. So that's why that was my motivating factor, because I needed an uplift. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. Absolutely.
And so that's what pushed me to go, was because I just I needed some healing.
Yeah. Now let me ask you real quick. Let me ask you real quick.
Uh-huh.
Now, growing
Okay.
up, did you always have the knowledge of that you was
Yes.
related to Alice Haley? how
I
was that?
found out
How was that? How was that when you saw the movie Roots or the series Roots?
okay, so we found out right before Roots aired.
Okay.
So I literally have pictures and a letter and everything of my aunties um, sending a picture, sending the newspaper clippings
Hmm.
of our cousin Alex down in Jackson, Tennessee, well, in Hennings and Covington, I'm sorry, Covington, Tennessee, where the newspaper people and the was taking pictures of the family reunion, and all of my family down gathered of the announcement that the book Roots was going to be aired as a miniseries, as you
Okay.
know, as a movie on TV. So I have pictures of all of that with my cousins there present, and them writing my father a note and mailing it to us. So I made copies for all of my kids and my sisters and stuff. Um, I just and we passed it out. So yeah, we were very very proud
Okay.
of
I can imagine.
yeah. So yeah, I was about 12 when all of that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 12. So man, I was so excited. And then, but even prior to that, I felt a
Hmm.
connection to Africa. I used to look at PBS all the time and watch the children,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? They look like me, but they don't. But we're not speaking the same language. But somehow I felt a connection.
Yeah.
I just felt a connection, and so when we got the notice about our cousin Alex at 12 years old, and we all were plastered in front of the TV looking at Roots and all of that stuff, it
Right.
just resonated all in my spirit, you know.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That I can imagine how that must have been for you because Roots is one of the most inspirational movies that I've ever seen in my life. It was one of those
Hmm.
situations, and I talk about this on the channel, how I would cry every day as it got closer and closer to the airing, and I'd be asking my sister to watch it. And she said, "Why you?" I said, "I need you to watch this with me." And she'd be like, "Why? I mean, why are you crying?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "What does it make you cry? Don't watch it." I said, "I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. What are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? So if that was my cousin or a family member, oh my gosh, you probably couldn't have told me nothing. So what? Who? Man, you don't know my cousin? He don't, man. Did you see Roots, man? My cousin made that, man. Go read the book or something.
Yeah,
So
we are. We're proud. We're so
yeah,
proud.
yeah, that's a
So proud.
blessing. That's a blessing. So getting
Yeah.
to the Gambia, when you first now the container that you sent, when you really that big container, you guys got to go to to her website so you can see this video. It's beautifully put together. It's narrated. I told her, look, I don't know about this other stuff you're showing, but this is needs to be the foundation. So my question to you was: the container waiting for you, or did you have to wait for the container when you sent the
Yeah.
container?
Okay. So the way you do, you organize. So we went over. We shipped the name of the company was a fantastic company called Ciderate.
Mm, okay.
They're a Ghanaian-owned company over in Haglethorpe. Is like right outside of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so we went. We met with them. And the owner name is Fred. I can't remember his last name right now. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so we met with them and they told us everything that we needed to do. And they brought the container actually to the church. And so they set the container in the yard, and I forget how many weeks we kept it there so that we could
Fill it up.
receive the donations. We had to
Mm-hmm.
box the donation. It was a journey, Lord.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
separate the clothing and all that stuff, and uh, organize and put it in the container.
yeah.
And then, okay, so they let us know that it takes actually 6 weeks from the day that you decide you want it shipped out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we ship the container out. And so in 6 weeks, they give you a call and they let you know to come on and meet the container.
Right.
So, and that's what happened. Actually, we got over there in 5 instead of 6. So I was like running, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when that container hits that port, they start to charge you
That's right.
after a
That's
certain
right.
amount of time.
Your meter's running.
Yes. So I was running because I didn't want to pay
Yeah.
no more money than I had to.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, so I met the container over there, and then like I said, because of the relation that I had already established,
Mm.
I was able to, kind of move swiftly to
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
out. We got it out within a
Understand.
week.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Now, what
Hmm.
was your accommodations like when you touched down in the Gambia? Did you stay in the village or did you stay in a resort? How
No, I
how was
stay in
that?
an apartment.
Okay.
I stay in
Okay.
an apartment. I stay at Aqua Suites, y'all,
Okay.
right there in Senegambia.
Aqua Suites. Now, let me think. Are they still there? Aqua
Yes, they are
Suites.
still there. I was just there in 2019.
Okay. But I'm talking about, I just recently came
Hmm.
back.
You know where
I didn't
Oasis is?
Oasis. That's down behind that big soccer field. Right there, Center Gambia. I think there's a
No.
gas station,
Oh yeah, yeah,
4X.
yeah, yeah.
There's a gas station right there.
Yeah.
There's this big soccer field.
It's right down the street from where, huh?
Yeah, no, no, go ahead. Right down the street from, you were saying it's right down the street from somewhere. Uh-oh. Did we lose?
Oh, yeah, right there in Senegambia. Oasis is
Right.
right in Senegambia. Sorry.
Okay. No, 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 you good. Yeah, I think I know where Aqua Suites is.
Okay.
There's a little, I think it's called Coco Cabana or something like that right next to it. I actually went down there. The guy
Uh-huh.
wanted to sell it to me, but it was ridiculous. I was like, yo, I know you got emotional attachment, but you can't get this price. It was a ridiculous price. So I think the place you're talking about is right next door. Yeah. Yeah. It's like right on the beach. Is that where it's like on the
Okay.
beach? Is it on the beach?
No, okay. So do you know, okay, when you're Senegambia, you know where the big marketplace is right there. I think it's Motu's that's right there now.
Motu's is there. Yeah.
Is Motu right on that main coastal highway?
Yep. It's on that main road right there. I think they call it the Cola Lee
Okay.
Highway. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
Motu's is right
Oasis
there.
is right across from, you can look right at Oasis.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Those
I never
apartments can
knew.
sit right across from
Yeah,
Motu's in
yeah,
that market.
yeah. They like
That's
upstairs,
where
right?
Oasis is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think they did a little something because they put like a kids park out there, some other stuff out there now, where kids go and play and all that
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. I think that's what they call it, the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah. So yeah, so
Okay.
you
And
had
then okay,
accommodations.
so you know right where the bars and the restaurants is when you can walk through. It's kind of like a little Ocean City.
Yeah, yeah. Right there where the four corners are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. So Suites sits on the opposite side of that, back up in the cut.
Okay. And how was the
Yeah.
accommodations over there? Was it nice?
Oh, fantastic. I love Aqua Suites. I've been staying in Aqua Suites mm, probably 5 years now.
Mm. Yeah, the way you talking about them, we got to see if we can get you a check. we, we got to see if we can get you a check the way you talking about them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
talk about
Aqua Suites is,
when the
oh man, it's so nice. The people there, it's not a big establishment. I
uh
think Aqua Suites probably have three, two. I think it maybe have maybe 10 apartments there, 10
okay.
to 12 apartments.
Yeah.
It's not big,
Okay.
but and they have, the housekeepers,
Right.
and the manager, and they give you breakfast is included in your price when you
Okay.
stay. They take good care of
Okay.
you.
No, no, no doubt. We're gonna have to check that out. But let's talk about delivering the container into the
Okay.
village. I mean, I couldn't. I don't have the nerves to really do things the way that you like what I'm seeing. So for you, was there like a plan in place, or did it just unravel just the way it unraveled? Because I seen like the container come in. There was a bunch of guys out there. They were unloading, and then the whole village is there. You know what I mean? Was there a method to that madness, or did it
Yes,
just unfold the way it did?
yes. But let me tell you, the plan has been unraveling since I've been going there, taking things there in the village.
Okay.
And we had to keep tweaking. Every time we did a delivery, we had to tweak it to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
it better. Because
Right.
believe me, I have footage where I can show you where you would be like, what? Because they are so excited about the smallest little things that you give them that they almost kill each other trying to get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, when they seen that, it was like a free for all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we organize because I have volunteers over there. When I go, I have a team, an actual team has been
Okay.
established over in the Gambia. So when I go over there, they let them know that I'm coming, and then they contact the people in the village, the leaders, the Akalo, all of that, to let them know I'm coming. They let them know how I want things distributed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so what has happened?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now I travel with security,
Okay.
not because I'm afraid of something is happening with me, just so we can control the crowd.
Control the crowd. Right. Yeah. I
Because
mean, we
when they
pat.
know
Yeah.
I'm coming, they know I'm coming bearing gifts.
Right.
So they
And
are
the
past
gifts.
excited.
Right.
Huh?
Can you speak on some of the things that you brung? Like, what were some of the items that you brung over there?
Oh, okay. So we have collected bikes, we have
Mhm.
collected computers, books, pencils, shoes. Oh, shoes. Some shoes come that haven't even been worn. People have
Right.
donated to us.
Mm.
Um, Clothes, pocketbooks, crafts, or like fabrics and things that the ladies could use um, to sew, so that in fact they've made beads and things like that so that we could actually, I pack them in my suitcase, bring them back and sell, so that I can send them back a stipend,
Right.
for the
Right.
women,
Right.
to help them with their personal needs and things like that for their family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so in 2019, I made a plea for men's clothing, because women, we always buy clothes. We all have
Yeah.
plenty of stuff for children and women, but never
Mhm.
enough for the men.
Right.
So I made a concerted effort in 2017, 2018 to collect men's stuff, and man, they came through.
Yeah.
Those guys had smiles ears to ears. Even my foot soldiers, the guys that the security that helped to control the crowd, they were smiling all the way and told me and said to me, call me anytime. I mean, I'm
Right.
talking about these were big guys too. We
Yeah.
were laughing when we were packing the stuff up. Like, who would wear these size 12 and 13 shoes?
Mhm.
And man, I'm telling you, that's why I say, the stars align. There is a God. I mean, there's no way when you do this kind of stuff, there's no way you could not be believing God or a higher power, as some people say.
Right.
Because man, I mean, when I tell you every need was met, every
Yeah.
need was met,
I got
with
you.
this container when this thing happened.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just a beautiful thing. You just can't.
Yeah. I got a
It's
little
it's
buck
it's
wild while I
it's
was over there.
so
I was
addictive. Like you can't.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I got buck wild when I was over there. I mean, I was throwing money and you know, it got crazy for me too. I mean, just giving out lollipops was an issue. And then I had two cakes for my 50th birthday. I had two cakes. One was a 5 and
Hmm.
one was a 0. And I'm cutting
Hmm.
up the cake, but I'm not paying attention to who's taking the cake or where the cake is going. They're like, you need bigger pieces and stuff like that. And I'm saying, all right. So
Hmm.
when I happen to look up, I look around and it's all these kids. And I'm like, ain't none of the kids eating the cake. And they was like, no, they don't give the kids the cake. They give it to all the adults and all this. I was
Hmm.
like, nah. So, every once in a while, a little hand would pop up and I'd scoop some cake in the hand and then I just said, yo, you know what? Because it wasn't nothing left really. I just pushed the
Hmm.
thing to the side and they went crazy. They went crazy. And it was like on this side, go scratch, and they were licking their fingers, and over here they licking their fingers, and it was crazy. So I was like, yo, this is this is wild. They get wild for the nighttime for them when it comes to like getting gifts and stuff like that, and giving out the
Mhm.
lollipops. It was an international situation, believe me when I tell you. But yeah, we made it through. So moving forward, what is your plans moving forward for the Gambia?
Oh, please. I am, oh my gosh, I am planning to go um next month. I've been invited to speak actually.
Okay.
So I don't know how it's gonna pan out right now.
Yeah.
Um, because it was kind of like an impromptu thing where I met this person on a humble, introduced to him by my brother once again.
Okay.
And so he invited me to speak.
Mm,
So I'm supposed to be going next month.
okay.
So if the stars align,
Yeah.
then I'll be there next month speaking
Right.
at. He's putting together. He's doing his first. His name is Dr. Kevin Washington, and
Mm,
he's doing his first Roots Homecoming
okay.
uh, program. And so
Hmm.
he's invited me to speak there. And so I'm highly considering going with him
Okay.
to speak at his conference. Um, and so I will be there probably 2 weeks to a month. I'm not sure. I'm
Oh,
still
okay.
trying to, I'm sitting on the fence right now
Yeah.
because my husband and I was preparing to go in August to stay for a month because we want to retire and repatriate hopefully in the next 14 to 18 months. That's
Okay.
our goal.
Hmm.
So we're trying to set things up for that, preparing for that.
Okay.
Um, I'm more excited than he is. I promise you. I'm strong arming him basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have
I'm
somebody
strong
24
arming him.
hours, 365 to get your back while you're over there. So, yeah. Let's talk about some of the things that you're doing to get back. If you want to talk about that, I like what you said earlier when we talked prior to the interview about you're basically cooking your way to the Gambia. I like to talk about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's that
So
all about?
I've been, yes. So what I've been doing, of course, I told you I started the nonprofit and everything.
Hmm.
I was advised to start a nonprofit because I was doing it at first with doing taking over suitcases and things like that with just me and my customers' donations and so on and so forth. And so I would bake. I had already started like a little small baking business, and I would just do it on the holidays.
Hmm.
So during the holidays, I would advertise my pies and sell them. My customers would give me orders and all that kind of stuff, and that would help me to pay for my trip and
Hmm.
and whatever extra suitcases that I wanted to take over when I would travel. Okay, so that's what I had been doing, and then I was advised to set up a nonprofit to try to get a grant.
Hmm.
That is not as easy as people spit out their mouth. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So we're in the course of that. But anyway, I'm cooking my way to Gambia.
Okay.
So I do my pies, and now I've added in the last year. I've added in my soul food.
Okay.
So I'm just using my skills and my gifts and my talents for whatever I have to do to get there.
Yes, ma'am. Amen. Tell the people
So
how they can
COVID,
get to
COVID
your.
shut me down as far as one of my gifts, which is cosmetology.
Uh,
And then Uber because I have high blood pressure.
mhm.
I didn't want to take the chance of getting somebody in my car to infect me, so I just totally stopped driving.
Stop
So I
doing
stopped working. Basically, I'm out of work.
it. Yeah. So, how can the
Mhm.
people get some of your food? I mean, I don't know if you want to give out a geographical location or do you maybe
So I'm
deliver?
no, I
That's up
don't
to you
mind.
now. You don't, there's no pressure, but I would like
No,
to
I don't
support
mind. I
and
don't
let the
mind.
people know how they can
So
get some good food.
Springdale, Maryland.
Mhm.
Right off of Ardmore Ardwick Road. My parents, that's where I grew up. So
Okay.
right off of Ardmore Ardwick Road.
Let the people know just how they can get in contact with you and so they can go
Okay,
start
so
looking
my
at that.
website address is www.gmsjufreyproject.org.
.org. And Jufrey is the village
Yes, that Kunta
where your
Kinte that
family,
was
Kunta
born.
Kinte, yes. Okay, cool, cool. So I mean, is there anything else you want to touch basis on while we have the platform up?
Well, I would love for your audience to go and to support my channel with the S.
Yes.
And also please to go to my website and subscribe to my mailing so that I can let them know when we're going to release our documentary. Our
Okay.
documentary is um, we're right here. We're right ready to release it, but we just have a few more things to do. Okay. And then we will release it. And our documentary is about me and my cousin meeting one another. It's about my journey, basically.
Right.
Um, Going over, meeting my cousin, falling in love with the family, and falling in love with the work, and in your words, continuing the legacy of Alex Haley.
Sis, by all means, continue to do what you're doing and do it in the fashion that you're doing it. Because from what I saw and what I seen and what I experienced, you had me saying I got work to do, and I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? Because
Thank
we got a
you.
lot of things that we're putting together, but it didn't even dawn on me. I'm telling everybody, I'm saying, look, I understand sending a container. I said, man, if we just go over there with the money, there's a lot of stuff that we can buy. And it's like you're doing twofold. You're bringing money into the economy and you're helping people out at the same time. But I'm with, filling up a container too, because people in America, we take these things for granted. We're so busy and we're so caught up in our daily lives. Our junk, which is gold to someone else, has to
Yes,
have its own apartment. When you look at all these storage units going up,
yes,
our junk has to have its own house.
yes, yes.
Man,
And
put that
I
stuff in
said
the container
I'm
and send it to
guilty because
Africa.
I'm paying for a storage unit right now. Totally guilty.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my because I was telling you I wanted to share with you that I wanted to start a vocational school there. That is
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. Right.
And my storage container is housing my beauty equipment.
Got you, got
Yeah,
you.
I own my equipment. I bought it when I
Yeah.
opened up my commercial spot.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my husband, won't you sell that stuff? I'm like, mm-mm. And didn't
Yeah.
know that down the pike I was going to have a vision for opening up a vocational school back there in the
Right.
village.
Right. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that we touch bases on everything.
Yeah.
I just want to say that it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to just make this connection. Uh,
Oh, the
you
honor's
got to
all
continue to
mine.
put these videos out because you never know what kind of connection you're going to make. This has been a blessing. I'm inspired. I'm coming to check out the macaroni and cheese. Most definitely.
Okay.
I want to say that we most definitely got to keep the lines of communications open. Let's not just be,
Absolutely.
hey, I see you. No, we're going to collaborate on some other things. I promise you that. And
Okay.
I want everybody that was in my earshot that comes to my channel, that subscribes and everything, to please go check out this sister. She's one of the real ones. She's one of the real ones. And don't
Thank
forget to
you.
subscribe,
Appreciate
like,
you.
share, comment, hit the notification bell so you can see more content like this coming through. And I'm gonna let my sister say her final words, and then we're gonna get on up out of here.
Okay, guys, I first of all just let me thank John for just having me and just for sharing and being authentic. Man, this brother is really real. When I saw him out there in the village doing his candy and cutting up his cake and doing his sloppy joes, I was like, oh yeah, I got to reach out to this brother. So I really appreciate him
Yes, ma'am.
just accepting me and considering me his sister. So
That's
and I'm
right.
looking forward to
I want to be down with the
collaborating.
Alex Haley family. I want to be in the Alex.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? I told you. I'm glad you told me you had a husband, because look at here. I'm looking. I'm available. Don't forget, I'm just playing, Sarah. I gotta say something funny. I'm just playing though.
It's funny. But anyway, so I'm telling you, my heart is overjoyed. And guys, please subscribe to my newsletter. We do a newsletter quarterly from my website, just to let you know, just to update you on what's going on there in the village, and what me and my board members are doing and planning for my mission work. And then also, as I'm developing, y'all, so I'm a work in progress with my YouTube channel. And so please just subscribe and support me, and watch me grow, help me grow.
That's right.